Welcome to another Honkai Star Rail video. Today I'm gonna try out Archer, the second of the two Fate characters we got now in Honkai Star Rail. And he's also one of my favorite Fate characters, much like Saber. Though I like Saber a bit more, but yeah, Archer I also really like, and I can't wait to see what he can actually do. Even though I do have a small problem concerning him, and that problem is that I don't actually have Sparkle. And Sparkle, of course, is his best support by far. It's like she's made for him, or he's made for her. They just work really well together, and yeah, without her, he definitely won't be able to reach his full potential, but I think he's still gonna be strong. But you know, we'll see. So let's go over his build. My archer, as you can see, has over 3000 attack, not that much speed though, because as far as I know, it's just better to go for as much attack and crit as possible on him. And speed is not that important, because instead of making him have as many turns as possible, you just want him to do as much damage as possible in the few turns he gets, by using his skill a bunch of times. And yeah, of course the crit stats could be a bit better. I mean, crit rate is almost 100, which is nice, but the crit damage could definitely be higher. He's still very work in progress, but at least he's at a point now where he's somewhat usable, I think. That's why I'm making the showcase now. But I'm definitely planning to farm some more relics for him in the future. This is not the final build. For sidecar, I'm of course using his signature, and the traces are maxed out. And for the relics, I'm using the 4-piece Quantum set, because as far as I know, that's his best set against enemies that are weak to Quantum, and still one of his best sets, even if they're not weak to Quantum. And if you have Silver Wolf, who can implant Quantum weakness, then it's just always his best set. I am thinking about rolling for Silver Wolf when she comes back, when she gets a rerun, which I'm pretty sure it's gonna be soon, because she just got buffed, and she's actually really damn good now. And yeah, for the planar ornaments, Rutilant Arena is just his best. It gives crit rate, it gives skill damage. That's what he wants. Yeah, not much to say about that. Let's take a look at the relics. I mean, they're not that great, as you can see here, in defense. Like I said, it's work in progress. I at least got some decent relics, like this here with double crit, and I got a crit rate body with crit damage and substats, which is nice. But I actually had to reroll this, because when I initially leveled it up, it didn't get a single crit damage roll. And even now it's just one crit damage roll, but you know, it's better than nothing. And the rest went into attack percent, which is like the second best stat here, so it's fine. Using attack boots, and of course quantum damage bonus here, and attack on the rope. And Eidolon's 0, so it's an E0 S1 work in progress archer. Definitely not the best archer you will ever see, but I think he's usable for now. So let's talk about the team now, because like I said, I don't have Sparkle, so who could I use instead? And you know, my first thought was that I should probably use Hanya, because she's also kind of a skill point support, can help with getting a bunch of skill points, and I've actually seen a lot of people recommend her, but there's just one small problem with Hanya, which is actually the same problem that I have with Sparkle, which is simply, I don't have her. Yeah, Hanya's like one of only 2 4-stars I don't have. The other one being Luca, I think. Even during my E6 Saber rolls, where I got like almost every 4-star at least once, I didn't get a single Hanya, which is kinda sad. So, who do I actually use with him? Well, while I was scrolling the Archer Main subreddit, I actually came across a comment that was saying that they were using Hunt March with Archer, and it worked kinda well. So I was like, yeah, maybe I should try that, because as far as I know, March is one of the most SP positive characters in this game. You just use her skill once in the beginning to support another character, so she's also kind of a support, and then you just spam basic attack, generating skill points. So that could work well. But the thing is, when I read this comment, my March was still very much unbuilt, and she still kinda is. Just started building her 2 days ago, but I managed to get her level 80, her light con to level 80, but her traces are still not that great. But I actually do have some decent relics for her, because she uses this set here, which drops in every boss fight, so I had some usable pieces of this lying around. And she also uses Rutilant Arena, same as Archer, so while I was farming for this, I also got decent pieces for March. You know, not the best ever, but I don't need March to deal a huge amount of damage, I just need her to generate skill points and support Archer a bit. So she should be fine, I think, for now. And also, I only have E3 for now, even though she's a free E6. But yeah, you get her Eidolons from 2 events, and I've only played one of them so far. Still have to play the second event. But the most important Eidolon is E2 anyway, because that unlocks her follow-up attack. But yeah, that's the first character I'm gonna put in Archer's team. And as for the rest, I mean, for the sustain, there's a pretty obvious choice. It's Gallagher. He's pretty SP positive. He can generate some skill points. And then last but not least, this is probably where I would put my Sparkle if I had one. Or Hanya. But what other supports do I have? I mean, there's Bronya, for example, but she uses a lot of skill points, which we don't really want in Archer's team. So maybe I could use Tingyun, or I could also use Ruin Mei, I guess. She's a decent support, right? Even outside of break teams, I usually just use her in my Firefly Super Break team. But she doesn't use that many skill points, right? Because she only needs to use her skill like once every 3 turns. So she's probably a decent choice here. It's definitely not like a great Archer team, but I think this is the best I can do with the characters that I have. So yeah, let's go and see how screwed I actually am with this team. And I'm gonna try out Archer here in Apocalyptic Shadow, because that's like the single target game mode, right? So good for hunt units. And yes, you can see my Firefly team here only got 2,700 points, not that good. And then my Saber team carried in the other half. So I'm hoping that with Archer, even with a suboptimal team, I can hopefully get as much as Firefly here, even though she has a very good team. And yeah, since I'm using Gallagher in the second half here, actually, I'm gonna have to change my Saber team as well. But Saber should still work well, even if I give her Lingsha instead of Gallagher. And I think Gallagher is more important to have for Archer than for Saber, because Archer really needs SP positive characters in his team, so that he can fire off as many skills as possible. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Let's go in and see how well this works. Now, as for buffs, we actually have one here that generates skill points, but I wanna try out Archer without any additional buffs first. Especially since I also wanna see how good the skill point economy in this team actually is. So I'm gonna choose this one instead, which is useless for this team. So let's see how this goes. Okay, let's use March skill here and Ruin Mei's skill, and then we do this. Okay, here we go. And this enemy is quantum weak, which is good. Just basic attack here and actually use her ult immediately. And now this is the only time we have to use March's skill. Now Archer is Shifu, and we can just spam basic attacks now with March. Let's get some skill points here with Gallagher. Okay, we had max skill points, so now we just do this several times. And immediately use the ult. Okay, it's not a lot of damage, but it's decent. The important thing here is that we can actually break his weakness in time, so without the skill hits and March, who can also now deplete quantum weakness, we should be fine here. At least I hope so. Okay, let's use the skill again. So that gets rid of one of the minions. Okay, now we can actually attack the boss directly again. Oh, we don't have skill points. And Ruin Mei's skill is gone. Okay, that's kind of a problem. That's the nice thing about Gallagher. You can just basic attack, ult, and then immediately basic attack again. You're generating basically 2 skill points in one turn, kinda. I think I'm actually gonna use basic attack here with him, because we are only at 4 skill points. Yeah, it's really rough if we don't have an action advance. Since I'm using attack boots on Archer, it's gonna take a while before he gets another turn. Well, at least we can use Ruin Mei's skill now. Oh, they're hard focusing Archer, that's not good. Attack, 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 get some healing. Okay, there we go. And now we do this. And March does follow-up attack, and he does follow-up attack. Yeah, that's actually kinda what I was hoping for. March follow-up attack doing his skill, and then he does follow-up attack, which also regenerates a skill point. And I think we started at 6 skill points here, right? And now we're at 5, so we basically just used 1 skill point for the first skill. We're still only gonna be able to do 3 shots here, but if we had started with 7 skill points, then we could do 4 now. So yeah, most of the time it's just gonna be 3. But if everything goes well, then this team can also sometimes do 4 skills. Anyway, let's just get rid of his break bar now. This should do the trick. Yep, there we go. We get all the ults. So let's use them. This is where we do huge damage. For all this stuff. Oh yeah, no, that's some damage. Okay. That's what we like to see. We don't have to reapply Ruin Mace skill yet. We have 7 skill points. Which is nice. Come on, Archer, get a turn, please. Okay, here we go. 1 shot. 2 shots. Okay. And 3. Wow, yeah, they get stronger and stronger. Yeah, if we could pull off more than 3 shots, the damage would be really damn good. But that's why you kinda want Sparkle or Hanya. It's really difficult to do without them. But so far, it's actually going decently well, I would say. Wait, now we have to focus on breaking his weakness again. Okay, first break bar is gone. We're making pretty good progress, I would say. March is honestly worth her weight in gold. She just basic attacks again and again and again. Without her, we would have so much less skill points. Okay, big attack, but we immediately use Gallagher ult. Heal up. Okay. Now let's do some skills. Three big shots. There we go. March gets her enhanced basic. Does huge toughness damage. We're close now. Okay, again. They also survived. Nice. So same thing again as before. Let's use Run Mace ult as well. And now as soon as we break the weakness, he is pretty much done. 1 shot. March follow-up attack. 2nd shot. Okay. Now we use the ult. That was pretty good damage. He got his follow-up attack there, so we got another skill point. So that means more skill shots. Yeah. Again, and wow, okay. 418k there at the end. And over 3000 score. I mean, that's good. That's more than my Firefly managed. Now, to be fair, this boss fight is not really good for Firefly. But she was like the only other option I had there. I mean, I could also have used Acheron, I guess, but my Firefly is stronger than my Acheron. But it seems like Archer is stronger than both of them. And you have to keep in mind, this is a very suboptimal team. No Sparkle, no Hanya, no Sunday. This is a team with March, who doesn't even have a Traces leveled, and is only E3. And then just Gallagher and I mean, just Gallagher. I'm saying that as if he's not good. Gallagher's the GOAT. But yeah, what I'm trying to say here is that this is such a budget team for Archer. And we still managed to get over 3000 points in Apocalyptic Shadow. I mean, if that is not good, then what is? And you're not even considering the team, but also considering that, like I said in the beginning, this build is also work in progress. You could still have some more crit damage and stuff, and we already did like 400k damage at the end with just 1 skill shot. It works. He works. Like, yeah. This is actually better than I expected. Like, I really wasn't sure if we could do this with this team, if we could even clear that Apocalyptic Shadow stage. And even if we did, if it would be more points than with my Firefly team. But, you know, I'm positively surprised. We cleared it and got more points. So, yeah, Sparkle, do I really need you even? Yeah, no, I kinda do. I mean, if I really want my Archer to be as strong as possible, then I kinda do need her. I actually am probably gonna do some more rolls before this banner goes away. I just haven't decided yet if I'm actually gonna roll for Sparkle, or maybe Sunday, or maybe Tribby, because all 3 of them are good. Or maybe even just Sunday's Lightcorn for my Bronia. I haven't decided it yet, but definitely gonna do some rolls there before the end. but not in this video, because this video is just about Archer, and I think it was a pretty successful test, despite me not having Sparkle. So yeah, if you were wondering if he works without Sparkle, he does, you know? Of course, Sparkle will make him even better, but I don't think she is absolutely mandatory for him. Anyway, let's end the video now. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more Honkai Star Rail and other gacha content. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.